Welcome to One on One, the Daily Items weekly digital program featuring Susquehanna Valley newsmakers interviewed by Daily Item reporters. Today's guest is park manager for the Shikellamy State Park complex, Nicholas Sherlock, interviewed by reporter Justin Strasser.
It's cloaked in stunning designer attire, a statement of fashion from every angle, unashamed of its opulence, but nothing you didn't already expect from Lincoln.
Unveil innovation with purpose. The all-new 2018 Lincoln MKZ. Or blur the lines between comfort and exhilaration. The 2018 Lincoln MKX. The feeling stays with you.
Sunbury Motors Lincoln, run by the Mertz family since 1915.
Welcome to the Daily Items One-on-One. I'm Justin Strasser, and our guest today is the new Shikellamy State Park manager, Nicholas Sherlock. Thanks for joining us today, Nick.
Thanks for having me.
Now, you're the new park manager over there at Shikellamy State Park,
Yes.
and that's also part of you're the manager of the three-park complex
Correct.
Is it Milton State Park and Susquehanna State Park?
Milton and Susquehanna.
Okay. How did you find yourself in the opportunity to assume that role?
Well, I had been a park ranger 1 for 6 seasons with DCNR. I wanted to take on a bigger role. I got in the park manager trainee program. I was hired for that in May of this year. There was an opening at Shikellamy. Came for a tour of the park. It's a really interesting park. It's different than a lot of other state parks, being that it's in a more urban environment, right at the confluence of the West Branch and the North Branch of the Susquehanna River. I really enjoyed it, interviewed for it, and I got the job.
Okay. What are some of your duties and responsibilities as park manager?
A little bit of everything. One of the biggest things at Shikellamy complex is there's a lot of events, a lot of public events. Mm-hmm. There's bass tournaments. It seems like every weekend, and so there's a lot of that. Just coordinating all the events and making sure everything's done the right way and everything's safe, and we don't have too much going on at once, and trying to keep everybody happy.
Is that the same way up in Milton State Park and Susquehanna State Park? Do they have a lot of events going on?
Milton does, not as much at Susquehanna. Milton, the big thing there is the AYSO soccer. Okay. And then there also happens to be a lot of 5K races on the weekends at times, so less events than Shikellamy, but still a very popular place. I
think people in this area definitely love the Shikellamy State Park. Do you find that there's a lot of, picnics and personal events over at the Shikellamy State Park and the Overlook?
Yeah, absolutely. It's always busy on the weekends. And even during the week, there's a lot of people come in, like to take their morning walks or afternoon, evening walks, which is great. It's a beautiful scenery right on the river there, and it's good for that.
Now, you were officially announced as the park manager on September 12th, but you were in that role for a few weeks before that.
Correct.
How has the last month been for you?
It was an adjustment. Coming from being a trainee where mostly I was learning, I'm still, as far as classification goes, I still am a trainee, so I'm still learning, but I'm also have a lot more responsibilities than I did a couple weeks ago. And it's been good trying to balance those two things, and it's, for me personally, I like to learn on the job, so this has been good.
So what would the difference be between how you're a trainee versus when you're a full-fledged park manager? Yeah,
so when you're a trainee, you normally get put at a state park to work with another manager, and you do have some amount of responsibility there, but you're there to learn mostly. Okay. And so in this case, I have spent time working at other parks as a trainee, but now at this point it's just me. So
just you. Okay. You took the role over from John Clifford. Mm-hmm. I work with John Clifford a lot. He's a really nice guy. Mm-hmm. He left to do a bureau headquarters. It's a bureau headquarters managerial post with the department.
Yes.
Program services section. Did you get a chance to work with John at all before he left?
No, I haven't got a chance to work with him. I've met him, talked to him a couple times. Yeah, he now works, like you said, in our program services. He takes care of a lot of the agreements from the from central office's end. So that's actually been helpful there. He knows sort of what we're going and what's going on here at the park.
Did he offer up any advice when you talked to him about taking over?
Advice, not so much. I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't really ask for too much, but
that's fair. That's fair.
He definitely offered that if I ever did need help to reach out. So,
okay. You think you'll take him up on that offer at any time, or?
I imagine at some point something's going to come up where I'll need
Okay.
some assistance. So,
Okay. So you're are you living here in Sunbury, or are you living
I
in
have
the area?
Yeah, I have an apartment in Lewisburg.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And any family?
Nope, but it's just me at this point.
Okay.
My parents live back home in Bedford County.
Okay. Do you know anybody in this area? Any family? Any friends? Anybody close like that?
Nope.
Okay. So this is a
it's
big experience for you.
Yeah,
coming in.
it's all new for me. So.
Okay. Okay. That's it's kind of scary, I guess.
Yeah, a little bit.
So have you been to the area before?
Um,
Other than maybe looking at it from when you're interviewing for the job, maybe did you ever pass through, or?
I've passed through a couple times. Never stopped for too much, but.
And what do you think now that you're here?
I like it. I mean, it's a nice couple small towns all together. It's between where I live in Lewisburg, it's a nice small college town and good place to live. In Sunbury, I mean, I haven't spent a whole lot of time in the town, but the people I've met who come to the park are all very, very nice people, and really like the park. So that's great.
Mm-hmm. Any bright spots or hiccups in the last month? Any learning experiences on the job?
Nothing that pops out.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing that pops out.
Okay. So as a park manager, I'm sure that you have a love of the outdoors.
Yes.
Do you have a favorite state park that you like going to, or maybe a favorite national park?
I mean, right now my favorite state park is Shikellamy.
Good answer. Good answer. Yeah.
But yeah, outside of there, I'm a big fan of Canoe Creek State Park. I worked at there a couple seasons.
Okay.
That's another one of my favorites. So.
I've always been a big fan of Yellowstone.
Sure. Yeah.
I went out there as a kid and got to see the geyser and all the hot springs and Redwood Forest. I think I went out there as a kid too in California. So those are some of my top ones. All right, so we're gonna take a break. We'll be right back with Nicholas Sherlock.
It's cloaked in stunning designer attire, a statement of fashion from every angle, unashamed of its opulence, but nothing you didn't already expect from Lincoln.
Unveil innovation with purpose. The all-new 2018 Lincoln MKZ. Or blur the lines between comfort and exhilaration. The 2018 Lincoln MKX. The feeling stays with you.
Sunbury Motors Lincoln, run by the Mertz family since 1915.
Welcome back to One-on-One. We're here again talking to Nicholas Sherlock, the new park manager at Shikellamy State Park. Nick, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, some of your background, maybe where you're from?
Sure. Originally from New Enterprise in Bedford County. It's a small town. Graduated from Northern Bedford County High School in 2011. After that, I went on to college. Graduated from Penn State Altoona in 2016. As far as working with DCNR, I've been with DCNR since 2012. I worked as a park ranger 1 for 6 seasons, then got hired on as a manager trainee in this past May.
And is it right that you have a bachelor's degree in electromechanical engineering?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. Do you have like a minor in park rangering or something like that?
No. It was I focused on a lot of focused on sort of renewable energy when I did my senior project.
Okay.
For college. But really my experience with DCNR is the big thing that made me want to stay here and go on with working in parks.
So you're pretty young.
Yes.
You said you're gonna have your 26th birthday here in about 17 days.
Yep.
From when we're recording this, and you said that you're a recent graduate of the trainee program.
Mm-hmm.
What did you take away from those experiences that you think you can apply to your new position here?
I mean, the biggest thing is just learning park operations. I mean, it's trying to learn how to manage people. I mean, I've never had a management position before, so that's been an adjustment. Nothing too difficult. Just something you can't really prepare for too much other than to do it. So with the manager trainee, that was the big thing, was learning the operations and learning how to manage people.
Okay. And like I said, you're relatively young, and I'm curious if do you know how many other 25-year-olds get to manage a whole 3-park system at such a early in their career?
Yeah, it's not uncommon. I can't give you a number. I know the manager I worked for at Canoe Creek, he started probably about the same age that I am. He started as the assistant manager at the Hills Creek complex. Yeah, it's not uncommon. It's sort of just depends whenever you get in and whenever you start.
Do you feel sort of I guess a sense of hesitancy? Are you a little nervous starting out so young?
To a degree. Okay. I mean, I do feel like I'm young, but at the same time, like I said, I do have 6 years experience, which, I mean, it isn't a lot in the whole grand scheme of things, but it's not like I'm brand new to DCNR.
No, I didn't mean it like that.
No, no problem.
Now, do you, at what age did you start thinking about this is what you want to do with your life?
About the time I was graduating college.
Okay.
I had been doing the park ranger job in the summer, and the more I did that, the more I sort of thought, I could do this the rest of my life. It's a good gig.
Mm-hmm. Tell us about your love of the outdoors. When you were kid, teenager, did you go fishing a lot? Did you hike?
Oh yeah, no, I've love fishing. I've been doing that most of my life. Okay. I'll just say 25 years to make it easy.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's perfect. I've been doing that forever. That's my favorite. I do enjoy hikes now and then. Go for a nice walk outside.
Mm-hmm. I'm not much of a fisher. I went fishing up in Lake Ontario every year.
Oh yeah,
for like the last maybe 10 years, and never caught a thing.
Oh really?
Until the last time that my friends and I went,
and
that was a pretty big experience, a very memorable experience for me.
For sure.
So there's a couple big projects here. That you have under your belt. Now I know that the Adam T. Memorial Dam, commonly referred to as the Faber Dam, was repaired last year. It cut the boating season a bit short, and then this year there's been a lot of rain, so that also cut the boating season a bit short. Has this summer's weather affected the dam at all, or is it kind of too soon to tell?
We'll be doing the inspection here whenever we bring it down, and
okay.
we'll be able to see, if there's any sort of damage or anything to it. Then it has been a rough year for operating it. We have been bringing it up and taking it down an awful lot. No issues with it. It's just the wear on it.
I didn't think to look at it this morning, but I know last week when I was crossing the bridge, I looked over and you couldn't see the top of it. It was the river levels were still pretty high.
Yeah.
So, and I think it's been like that for a while.
Yeah, we've had basically the last three weeks here. We've been having high water without any bit of a break.
One cool experience I had with that dam when they were repairing it last year. A couple times I was able to get to go down there with John, and they had the causeways up.
Yes.
So I got to walk like right up to the dam and see the inflatable and touch it, and that was a cool experience. So,
oh yeah.
Hopefully you won't get that experience until much later, because I know everyone gets upset when the dam gets shut down and boating season gets shortened. But that's definitely a cool experience. And so going along with the weather, how has the weather affected the parks this year? I guess that you know of. I guess.
Yeah, I mean the biggest thing has just been closing because of the high water. We haven't had much damage. We do have a little bit of damage to one of our handicap docks on the marina. But the biggest problem has just been having to shut the parks down because of the high water, and then that's unfortunate because we can't let people in at that point. And
yeah, How's Angela doing over there with the outfitters? I know she was having a rough go at it for a while.
Yeah, I mean, it hasn't been a good year for her. Same reason, it's the high water. It sort of affects her business, and she can't run the business as efficiently as she'd like to, obviously, with the weather the way that it's been.
Has there been any repairs that got pointed out that you need to do to the parks? Any trees down? Anything that needs to get updated before it can be reopened to the public?
Just the biggest thing has been the damage to the docks.
Okay.
Inside the park itself, we've been lucky, haven't had anything. But,
That's good.
The docks are something that we've been keeping them as safe as we can, and then once we pull them out here, there's definitely going to be some repairs that are done over winter before the spring.
Okay. Now, one of the projects they announced about 2 years ago was that the Curry Point, they were going to reconstruct that a little bit, and I think you said that that's kind of taken a pause.
Yeah,
because of the weather.
Yeah, the same deal because of the weather. It's been delayed. I mean, all of the plans are done, the materials are there, and it's just been delayed because of the weather, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm. And the same thing with same kind of question for the marina building over there.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing that everybody wants. Every time people talk about Shikellamy State Park, they ask, "What are they doing with that marina building?"
Yeah.
Do you know if anything's ever going to be done with that marina building?
Right now, everything's on pause, sort of until I get settled down a little more here, and then we're going to look at taking that. Where we can take that from here and into the future.
Yeah, I mean, it used to be a restaurant. I think
Yes.
it used to be a educational center when it first opened up. So it's had a long history.
Yeah, it's been served a lot of different purposes, and we'll see what we can do going forward here.
What are some of your goals that you hope to accomplish with this 3-park and any special projects moving forward?
I mean, the biggest thing for me is I want to keep learning, learn as much about these parks as I possibly can, help the staff out here. It's a big thing to have the inflatable dam there and to be able to manage the lake there. So I just want to get as best a grasp on that as I can.
And how are you feeling in this new position?
It's been a hectic couple weeks.
Okay.
I'm just trying to wrap my head around everything, but it's been a good hectic. I'm not too stressed out that I'm gonna run away or anything. So,
you excited about starting it all?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. Now, the last question I have for you, I think you probably get this a lot with your last name being Sherlock.
Yes.
Do you have a favorite Sherlock Holmes character, actor that plays the character?
I haven't actually seen a whole lot of Sherlock Holmes media. I have seen the ones with Robert Downey Jr., so I'll just go ahead and say Robert Downey Jr.
Okay. If you ever get a chance, Benedict Cumberbatch. It's always hard to say his name. He's got his on, I think it's BBC.
Mm-hmm.
Those are pretty amazing as well.
Okay.
But anyway, thanks for joining us. I appreciate it.
Thanks for
this has
having
been
me.
a great conversation.
Thank you, Justin.
Thank you for watching One on One. We hope you'll join us next Thursday for the latest edition.